Hi everyone, I'm pretty excited. We just made it to 800 subscribers, which is pretty cool. My subs have been increasing a lot more quickly than they had been, I guess, previous to a couple of months ago. So that is really good. It's always a kind of hard sell for this channel because it's like being a leftist channel, it isn't the natural ally of many of the gender critical audience. But then it's also not really a feminist channel either, and or not at all a feminist channel. And so it's alienated from that demographic as well. So it's this super kind of niche thing, and I appreciate everyone who appreciates it. So I am still working on a response to ContraPoints' J.K. Rowling thing. So a little while ago, King Critical and Ella Androphobia and a few other people started to break up the video into sections and say, like, you take this 10 minutes, I'll take this 10 minutes. So I took the section where he's lounging around in the bath, and I have finished the script for it, but I just haven't started recording any of it yet. But it's conceptually finished, so that should be up soon. But yeah, we just hit 800, so I thought I should give some content in response to that. So one of the things that I often think about doing is just regurgitating stuff I thought was funny on Twitter into YouTube videos. And one of the things that I thought was classic, Amy Ham, who Amy and Megan formed GIDYVR. Not really sure what the acronym stands for, but assume it's a gender critical feminist thing. So anyway, so Amy did this thing where they were having a competition, and like the headline reads, New West businesses launch a Pamper Yourself for a Day contest for transgender women. And Amy wrote, going to enter this contest in my city for a $2,000 makeover. You just need to identify as trans and present as female. Deadline is midnight tonight. I'll share my entry here later. The entry question is, what does winning this contest mean to you? And so, yeah, this is great because it gets to that thing, the gaslighty thing, where the trans movement will simultaneously say, we don't think you can change sex, at the same time as they clearly, obviously do think that you can change sex. And so Amy's entry was, we all know that trans women are women, so the inverse, women are trans women, is a self evident truth. As a female presenting woman, and therefore a trans woman, I would be beside myself with feelings of validation should I win this important contest to increase my beauty and femininity. There is nothing more essential to being a woman than being beautiful and getting pampered by others, especially before a holiday as holy as Valentine's Day. In addition to this, I feel it's only fair that a trans woman, like myself, who was unfortunately born as a biological female, should be able to have access to the same opportunities and prizes that so-called real trans women are offered. After all, these trans women have been taking our sports titles and spaces in rape shelters and even transferring to women's prisons despite being convicted sexual offenders. Let's level the playing field. It would truly be an act of social justice if I were to win this contest. Please award me, a biological female trans woman, this prize because it would show how inclusive and tolerant you are of women who don't meet society's trans-normative standards of unattainable womanhood. Women are trans women, women are trans women, women are trans women. So Jared McKenna, I'm not sure who he is, wrote back, hello Amy, thank you for your email. However, I do take exception to your view of who a transgender woman is. If you were born biologically female and you live your life as such, then you are not considered transgender. Oh, so trans women weren't born female. Please take a read of the link provided, and hopefully that will give you a better understanding. By your own admission, your entry into the contest will not be considered. As a finishing note to you, I want to say I personally find your statement, quote, "These trans women have been taking our sports titles and spaces in rape shelters and even transferring to women's prisons despite being convicted sexual offenders," repulsive, repugnant, and truly indicative of how much you need to educate yourself. So that's hilarious because they literally put down trans women aren't female, but then in a billion other places they'll say trans women are just as female as any other woman. One of the rules of the contest was also that only the winner will be contacted, and so Amy's like, did I win the contest by getting told off? Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. Oh, Yaniv apparently castrated themselves, and that's disturbing and horrible, but as some people have pointed out, it's probably too crazy to do proper wound care, and so that might be the end of their particular brand of hijinks, which is a bit annoying because, as Karen Tumaj said, like, Yaniv seems like a TERF psyop designed to bring down gender identity. Oh, another thing that I found kind of amusing was recently there was a high school student, I think, who appeared on Tucker Carlson talking about how unfair it was to have males competing in female sports. And at some point, she kind of fumbled what she was saying and had a bit of a brain fart. And Kathy Griffin posted this, and they were like making fun of the fact that she'd made a mistake and making fun of the way that she looked. And I don't know, it just reveals Kathy Griffin, I think, completely. I listen to a lot of stand-up, and I listen to, fairly wide array of stand-up, and my my home is edgelord stuff. I'm a big Doug Stanhope fan. I like Cumtown. I like what is it? Legion of Skanks is okay. So I'm like down that end of incurable edgelord. I'll listen to everything, and I've listened to I don't know, fucking 8 or 9 Kathy Griffin specials. So I'm familiar with her work, and it's pretty bad. It's okay. But when she did the thing that I think really revealed who she was when she did the Trump thing, which I didn't think that there really was a problem with, because I don't think that art and culture really causes harm. I think it works the other way around. Harm is caused and then culture is like the product of that. So I didn't think, and particularly given that it was the president and all the rest of it, I didn't think there was a problem with it. What I thought was kind of funny was that so many other edgelordy comedians who had been, staunchly defensive of people making rape jokes and that kind of thing didn't really have her back and were like, no, that's a bridge too far, which I thought was weird. But the fact that she caved and that she apologized and she didn't really believe what she was doing made me suspect of her, I guess. And so when I saw this, I thought, yeah, you're a chicken shit asshole who got kicked out of the cool group you tried to fit into, and now you've got no other place to go except this demented cult that will take anybody in. And so all you have to do is parrot the right words and make fun of a kid on TV, and now you'll have a little clique to be part of. It also made me think about, she was in, I think, the Real Slim Shady film clip, and she mentions this in one of her stand-ups where she's like, Eminem didn't like me, but Snoop Dogg had seen me in something, and wanted me in it. And I thought, yeah, because he's a fake piece of shit too. He seems exactly, he's like the Black Kathy Griffin. Oh, the US military is now going to let female soldiers wear lipstick and nail polish so that trans women can feel more included in the military. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, so there are all these people that have this problem with making analogies between race and sex. I had someone on my channel say all comparisons of race to sex completely fall apart because A, you cannot be mixed sex like you can be mixed race, and B, the biological differences between black women and white women are tiny, especially compared to the biological differences between men and women. I don't suggest using it in any capacity or in the reverse. The biological differences between any two human beings are tiny. The biological differences between a human being and a chimpanzee are tiny. So it's not really... I don't really see how that affects it, because the thing is, with an analogy, you're not saying these two things are identical. You're saying these two things share components, and what they share most of the time in the analogies I'm using is sociological similarities, in that white and male are both dominant groups and black and female are both oppressed. Obviously, there are specific differences with each situation. You know, a woman doesn't necessarily give birth to a woman, but a black woman always gives birth to a black child. Yeah, there's lots of differences, but that doesn't mean that there's no insight to be gained by making analogies between the two. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I think that's enough. So I think I've reached the limits of what rifling through the bin of Twitter is going to produce in terms of content. So I might just call it a day there, and I'll get to work on the ContraPoints thing, and that should be up soon. Thanks.
If you want to talk about the deep discomfort of the arts, dive in.